All right, I want to the point. I'm highly opinionated on these matters because I've been looking at this for years now, and I feel like I've been placing this in my spirit, a while back. And I think, a lot of us have been sleeping on what's going on, the geopolitical stage, political stage. You see the Trump administration just came into office, and they're beginning to cut a lot of appropriation bills, a lot of funds, government assistance, the certain type of comforts that we have had due to our taxes are being eliminated or suspended, I would say. I won't say quite eliminated, but I'm going to say suspended. Due to the fact that the cost of living has become high, not just for the people, but for the federal government. We've been printing dollars out of thin air for years now. It started back, and I'm not going to go too deep. You can do your own research, but it started back when we switched from the gold standard, the silver and gold standard, to a dollar standard, a debit standard, a credit standard, where everything has been based off of credit. The way the economy works is everyone's supposed to chip in by our labor, right? That's why we have a Social Security number that's based off of our labor. And, we are spending more than our GDP allows, the gross domestic product allows, right? You got to put it into basic terms. When you bring home, say, $1,000 a week, but, your car note is $1,000, your house is $1,500 to $2,000 a month, plus you have additional other expenditures that you have to pay for and things that you're doing. Well, you find yourself in a predicament of debt. And our government has been acting in such a way to where we've been trying to keep up with a lifestyle that we once had, right? In the 60s, the 70s, after the World Wars, we had an abundance of money, or we had abundance of gold. So we switched it over to a credit system where everybody gets stuff basically off of credit. We're betting on the future. That's what the stock market's about. We're hedging on the futures, right? That's why they call it the futures. We're hedging on that. And the banking system is loaning money out for houses that people can't afford and things such. And a lot of our mentality it's trickled down from the government to the people, to where the people, us, we start to think that we can afford a specific lifestyle, right? We have a materialistic ideology about how we live. No, when I was growing up, our grandmothers, our grandmas, they would can figs and stuff like that. Well, a lot of us stopped doing that. We prefer to basically live a more quick, microwavable lifestyle instead of a frugal lifestyle. And in a long run, that kind of stuff catch up with you. A lot of folks don't ask, how is this built? Where are these resources coming from? We don't understand that a lot of the resources that we've been having, it doesn't even come from this country. So now you have other countries that's been, going just as hard as we've been going. They're caught on to our lingo. They caught on to our way of doing things. And they want the same type of lifestyle. And if you ever took a economic class, it teaches you, which I don't believe with, I think that's a Western mentality, but it teaches that resources are limited. Right? So when resources are limited and everybody is trying to get these resources, eventually somebody's going to have to lose. And one of the big factors is, I don't have the exact numbers, man. I look over stuff, I hear stuff, I read stuff. I believe our GDP, our spending, meaning our gross domestic product, how much spending we do, and this, from the things we create and buy, right? But I think we're in what is it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 30 trillion. Something like that, 20-something trillion dollars. But then you have another country called China, right, that has come along, and they're vying, they're neck and neck with us when it comes to spending. And they've been outdoing us technologically. And then and on top of that, they're banding with other countries, and they created the BRICS economical system, where now you have all of these different countries: Brazil, India, China, South Africa, Russia, right? I believe Mexico joined them. I believe a lot of the South American countries are starting to join them. Saudi Arabia was playing around with it. Turkish countries playing around with it. You know, India and China has the most people on the planet. Population wise, they got the most people on the planet. And these individuals, I mean, you can't even call a company now a company and not get an Indian without getting an Indian on the phone solving your technological questions and problems. The Chinese are manufacturing. You don't really see made in the U.S. no more. You used to see that, but you see more Chinese goods. And these places are becoming superpowers. So, and one more thing, America owes China. We owe China, right? So you're starting to see our government pulling back on spending, and it was inevitable. It was going to happen because we've been behaving in a materialistic way, because we assuming that it's just going to constantly just fall like the sky for us. I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of us are not in tune with what's going on around us. We just allowing other people to do things for us, take care of it for us. Some of our jobs are going to be obsolete because they're not important to the greater mission in this world right now. I mean, they've been telling us about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and teaching our children how to do that, right? So they can compete for the future. But if we're not putting our children, getting our children involved where they can compete on that level. I mean, because we started off, America, we're known for having military might, right? We're known for being able to go over to another country and dictate and determine what that country do and dare them to do something, tell us something back, or to be sassy. That's what we're known for. But that no longer is the position that we really can have. We have to have more of a more strategic approach, a more creative approach. And our government now is, because it's a little bit too late, starting to pull back these resources, and a lot of people are going to be in a problematic life because of this. If we don't learn how to relearn the things that we learn. A lot of stuff we gotta regurgitate. We gotta, release and give up. A lot of ideologies that we learned and grew up in, we gotta let that go and learn something different that's going to be a little bit more productive. I'm just telling you what's going on, what's going down in a short time. Again, if you don't know how to hunt, fish, plant, garden, you don't know how to budget, barter, it's going to be some difficult times. And what's funny is, for as an example of how the economy has shifted back and how the economy is struggling so much. In the 60s and the 70s, man, a man can work a construction job, a basic construction worker, not a foreman, none of these titles, but just a basic construction worker was able to take care of a family of 4 off of his income, right? He can make $7 an hour. But now most of us have to work 2 jobs just to make our ends meet. Got to have a side hustle. That's telling you where this economy is at. And it's been going there. We all saw the signs. Our government been giving us little stimulus packages. I mean, they've been doing it for a minute now. Obama was doing it. Trump came in office. He was throwing these things out, in the name of the virus that was going on. But in reality, that was to pump the economy, constantly having to pump dollars in the economy. Now they can no longer do that. Now they can no longer, pump money in the economy like that. They're having to pull back, stop the spending, slow the bleeding. So in this time period, man, it's very vital and important to, become versatile. Start looking into other ventures to go into. And just put the real work into yourself, self-improvement. Because they're not going to just hand it to us like they used to. And a lot of we deserve it, especially Foundation of Black Americans. We deserve it. We really deserve reparations, in my humble opinion. But yeah, you're gonna have to put the real work into yourself and become a little bit more serious. Because these people are not playing. They're dead serious. As soon as the man came in office, he started deporting people. They're not joking. I'm hearing today they're cutting all of these appropriations, these government pork barrel programs and things of that nature. They're cutting that stuff. They're really cutting it. Somehow we think stuff just supposed to last forever because we had a blast. World War II, that brought along a lot of money for us. But there's some of our elders that's still alive that was around near the Great Depression, and we got out of the Great Depression because we went to war. And we had some, that's another topic, with other bankers that was investing in us, the Vanderbilts and all of them peoples, Rockefellers and all of that, that's another topic. But in all seriousness, we shouldn't assume that it's, everything just supposed to come easily. Let's figure out, black folks, man, we're so creative, and I think this time is going to allow us to pull out that creativeness that exists in us, right? All the inventions that we have, all the patents that we have had. A lot of us still have that skill in us, but we're focusing on the wrong things. So I'm gonna say, man, seek the Lord. History repeats itself. Don't think that it can't happen to us. I really do also believe that God just not pleased with what's going on in America. We become so out there. A lot of us don't keep our business to ourselves. We put all our business out there. A lot of stuff don't need to be heard or seen. You know, like our grandparents used to do. You know, they kept this stuff to themselves. You know, that's on the God tip. That's on the God front. That's on the work. That's on the fearing God conversation. But economically and geopolitically, this is what's going on, and that's just the tip of it. I mean, it's deeper than that, I'm sure. You got a lot of African countries starting to rebel. Today, the Congo kicked out. You know, the Congo, we get most of our cell phone chips and stuff. It comes from a rock out of the Congo. These minerals and stuff, these ores. And the Congo kicked out the French, the American embassies, they're kicking all of these Western powers out. This is going on all around the world. This is why the push for to keep the Western world intact. But I don't know. I don't really think it's going to work. So this not a fear mongering. This just being clear about, starting to just reinvent yourself. Become more aware. You know what I mean? Become more aware. Become more vigilant and sober-minded. All right? Peace and God bless.